Hello and welcome to Mission Nonprofit. On Mission Nonprofit, we feature a local nonprofit organization from the Thurston County area. And this month, we have the Olympia Film Society. And with me is Joel Minkin and J.R. Baker. How you guys doing?
Doing well.
Great, thanks for having us.
You guys have a film festival coming up.
We do.
This month.
Yeah, the 11th to the 20th of this month.
Excellent. So everybody should go out there and they should buy tickets and they should come down to the Capitol Theater and watch some movies.
Absolutely.
And what kind of movies are we going to see at the film festival?
We've got an incredibly wide range of movies, actually. 47, I believe, over the course of 10 days, which is more than we've had in many years. We've got comedies, a lot of older movies as well, cult movies, lots of foreign. Yeah, that's just kind of the. Do you want to give some more broad outlines, JR?
Sure. I mean, we've got great music movies. We've got some toe tapping, Louisiana music that we can listen to. We've got family films. We've got date films. We've got, you name it, we got it for you. There's a jewel of a film there for you at any time.
The family movies sound interesting. I know last year you had the Muppet Caper and another one, Pee-wee or something. What do you got this year? Do you know?
We've got Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, 35 millimeter print of that, which will be amazing on the big screen. We also have The Secret of NIMH.
Oh, that's a great movie. Yeah.
And then we also have the 1926 version of Peter Pan, the first ever film version of Peter Pan.
It's very exciting.
Yeah, and we're actually flying in a fellow by the name of Bob Milne, who's generally considered to be the best living ragtime pianist. The Library of Congress declared him to be a national treasure, actually, and so he's going to be sitting down and playing some authentic ragtime music to the first ever film version of Peter Pan, so that's incredibly exciting.
So is it silent then?
Silent.
Oh, it's a silent Peter Pan. Is it a female Peter Pan?
Yeah, it is, actually. It's a young woman by the name of Betty Bronson.
Wow, you know the name of the woman.
I do.
You do know
I can
a
tell
lot
you
about
some of
these
the
films.
silent movie actresses who she beat out for the role, too, if you want.
Wow.
Actually, Barry, who wrote Peter Pan, was instrumental in picking the
Yeah,
the
he
lead.
hand-selected her.
So I think that's great that you have family films because then people can bring their kids down and they can support. If people have kids, they can support and they can still be a part of the festival. That's good. And you probably also had. I know you have a lot of audience participation in some of these things. Am I right? Or maybe not a lot, but some.
To an extent.
Yeah?
I mean, we do have a locally produced workout video, like an exercise video in the Richard Simmons tradition. Speaking of great filmmakers, of course, there's Richard Simmons.
I've never heard Richard Simmons called a great filmmaker,
but yeah, Lisa Hurwitz and Joaquin de la Puente, two local filmmakers, took a lot of inspiration from his videos, and so they made a little something called Oli Aerobics, and that'll be on Saturday the 19th at the Mark. People can come and actually do their crunches, and we have local bands doing the music, playing some workout music, lots of local punk rock and kind of new disco type
live music
bands.
to the video.
Live music in the video. Local bands playing original songs that will be good to work out to. So,
and you said this is at the Mark?
this is at the Mark.
So you guys are kind of expanding then. You got more venues.
Well, in the past we've had an extra venue for more kind of niche material here and there. Like the late lamented Northern was an extra venue of ours last year.
But the Mark this year has graciously agreed to do 6 or 8 of our shows. So that'll be fun.
Will some of those go up against the films playing at the Olympia?
They will indeed. They'll be
Capitol
so you'll have your choice whether to go to the Capitol Theater or the Mark at particular hours.
Oh, okay.
We also have, in terms of interactive stuff, we have our opening night gala and our
that's
closing
always
night gala.
Exciting.
That's a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of food down there. We're going to have sweets and savory foods, and we're going to have entertainment, and everybody's going to dress up, and it's going to be one heck of a opening night, we hope, this year.
What kind of things do people dress up as?
Well, this year it's the Golden Gala. We're calling it the Golden Gala since our opening night film is the Gold Diggers of 1933. And so we're promoting that everyone should come down and don their finest gold attire. You got a gold boa, put it on. You got a gold tux, put it on. You got gold chains, put it on. Come on down.
I wish
Or
I had
just
more
dress
gold.
up and have some fun.
Should have worn your gold chains here too.
That's right, that's right. I'm going to have to go find some gold chains so I can look all hot for the night.
Mr. T would be right at home with that one. Yeah.
Now he's a good friend of mine, so maybe I should just get his gold.
Mr. T is a good friend of JR's.
Anybody with initials.
That's right. Wonder what the T stands for. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Okay.
I'm glad that the two filmmakers that we've brought up so far are Richard Simmons and Mr. T. That's appropriate.
I went last year to the opening night gala, and you had Metropolis on. First sci-fi film, maybe. That was very fun, and you had. I think that the illuminated procession, is that what it's called? Was there with their illuminated, the illuminated ball they do in the spring. I think they were there.
Yeah, I think every opening night is a little different. One of the great things about the Olympia Film Society and the Olympia Film Festival is that we rotate directors and programmers every year or two. That's true for just about the entire volunteer cadre. So the opening night coordinator this year is completely different from last year or the year before. So every time opening night is a completely different program.
And you are the festival director.
Correct.
And you're the programming director. So you decide what goes on, or?
I decide on the films, and JR focuses on kind of the big picture, promoting, making sure that everything actually runs correctly. And, yeah.
Nice. Yeah. You know what I loved that you did last year? Those sponsorship videos that you had people from the community make for your sponsors. Those were excellent.
Yeah, we have such tremendous community support. There are all kinds of businesses that help us out. As a matter of fact, without the business support and the support of volunteers throughout the community, we wouldn't be able to put this on. It's pretty much volunteer driven. And it's a way to thank sponsors. Another way for us to thank them is to do fun little videos that can talk a little bit about them, but mostly they will entertain the audience as well. So.
I know another way to thank sponsors. We could mention them right here on the show. Mission Nonprofit.
There are so many.
Too many to mention.
I mean, we have 20 or 30 sponsors, and I would hate to not
leave
mention
somebody
every
out.
one of them.
Well, they can find it on your website, though.
They can definitely find it on
go
our
and find
website,
out.
and it will be in our program as well. So be sure and check out the program. It's at various locations right now, all around town. So
it's already done and it's out. Or
absolutely
will be when this show goes on here. So let's mention the website. We already started teasing people with the website. Let's tell them what it is. It's olympiafilmfestival.org. So go there, find out who are the sponsors, and how you could get involved and volunteer for next year, right?
Or even for this year, we'll still be looking for volunteers to help us put on the festival, which is in another week or two, and we can always use more help. The more, the merrier. So go there. You can find out more about the films. You can find out who all our wonderful supporters are and how you can give us a hand this year.
And you've got the schedule online too, so people can find out what films are playing what days. They can just go to olympiafilmfestival.org and find all that out. Excellent. So the opening night gala, what time does that start?
What time does that start, Joel?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock on the 11th. That's the opening night, so you want to be there for that.
Yeah, the gala is at 6, and the film starts at 7.
All right.
And then also after the film, there will be various festivities, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be an evening of fun.
Yeah.
And then you go through to the 20th.
Right.
For like a week and a half almost. And then you have a closing ceremony. Is that what you said?
We do.
It's a 10-day festival, and we'll end up. This year we brought back the closing night film, and so that will be a party as well. We'll have some food there and a little bit of entertainment, and we're actually very excited about the closing night film, which just won the grand jury prize at the Cannes Film Festival. So that's very exciting. It's Once Upon a Time in Anatolia.
It's a Turkish film that will be having its Northwest premiere, and as JR said, it's coming to us straight from winning a grand jury prize at Cannes. So definitely a prestigious pick.
I think one of the things that people in Olympia would appreciate is the local filmmakers. And what day is that?
There's a whole series of local shorts on Sunday, the 13th.
13th.
And yeah, we have about a little more than a dozen local filmmakers who participated in that, all with new work.
Interesting. And how long does that go? What are the hours? Do you have
It's
the
about an
times?
hour and a half. I believe it's at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Thereabouts.
It's Sunday afternoon.
Sunday,
anyway.
yeah, Sunday afternoon.
But they can find that out on your website or in one of those schedules. Where else are those the programs at? You mentioned some of the places. Let's
You'll
repeat
be
that.
able
Go ahead
to
and-
find them throughout downtown at
Yeah.
just about any coffee shop
Or at
go
the
to a
Capitol
bank
Theater,
or at
I'm
the
sure.
Capitol Theater.
Yep.
We have them. Come to TCTV. We'll be sure. And
We'll
have
put
some
them here at
here.
TCTV, no problem. We always do. We like
if
to
you-
support the film festival.
If you can't find them, just go on the web and send us an email, and we'll tell you where they are.
Or you can just look at it on the web,
There you go.
olympiafilmfestival.org, right?
Right.
Cool. All right. So, yeah, this is all great stuff. The Capitol Theater, what is going on with that? You guys just recently purchased the Capitol Theater.
The membership of the Olympia Film Society is currently the owner of the Capitol Theater.
Excellent.
It's very exciting.
That is very
It's very
exciting. And so you've got lots of good plans coming up for the...
Well, of course, you know, with any time that you buy an old building, there's a lot of work to do. So over the next year, I think everyone should be thinking about how they can support the Film Society and the renovations that we're going to have to do to make it, you know, the best theater possible in downtown Olympia.
They've had some renovations already, correct, with the marquee?
Sure. The marquee is wonderful. We put that up a couple years ago, and we're moving on. You know, eventually we're going to get new seats, but we feel that we should really upgrade the quality of the films first. So we'll be getting better sound systems, better projection.
Oh, nice.
That sort of thing.
Yeah, we actually just recently updated our digital projection system, overhauled that a little bit. There still is work that remains to be done in that to get it to the industry standard. So that's another thing that people can donate and volunteer towards, making sure that we have an absolutely impeccable digital projection system with 3D capability and all of that.
Wow. Does that mean it's played off of a digital format or something, or is it still film?
Well, this year we've got a wide variety of that. Most of the
throughout the
films,
festival?
most of the films are still in 35 millimeter or 16 millimeter, especially the older ones. But definitely the way that film distribution is kind of moving, it's becoming increasingly digitized, and so we want to make sure to keep up with that. Because in the future, we anticipate, like in a couple of years, new releases will be harder to get in actual 35 millimeter film format.
Right. And so I'd imagine that the local filmmakers are probably played off of some other digital format other than film.
For the most part. There are, I think, 2 16 millimeter films by local filmmakers, but for the most part, yes, it's digital DVD.
Any of your favorite films in the program that we didn't talk about? Do you want to mention another film that you really are passionate about, and do you know what time it comes on?
Well, there's one that is kind of a really big coup for us. You may have read in the newspaper a few months ago that there was recently discovered an Alfred Hitchcock movie from the 1920s that was never known to exist before, just buried somewhere in an archive in New Zealand. We'll actually be holding the 4th known screening of that in 87 years.
When does that come on?
That is Saturday, the 19th at 5:30.
Well, hold that thought. We're going to come right back after we see last year's promo from the festival. We'll come back and we'll talk more about the Olympia Film Festival. So stay tuned.
The coolest fest in the Northwest is back. For its 27th year in a row, the Olympia Film Festival is bringing you all the best films, shorts, and workshops you can handle. From November 12th to the 20th, the Capitol Theater will be in full swing. There'll be animation, the classics, artsy avant-garde films, tearjerkers, scary movies, local creations, kung fu, freaky weird stuff, foreign films, and even films for the kids. And that's not even half of what's going on. For full or partial passes, check out brownpapertickets.com or head over to Rainy Day Records in downtown Olympia. Need more info? Grab one of these pink booklets from just about any downtown Olympia business or go to the website olympiafilmfestival.org. And remember to mark your calendars because this is going to be too good to miss.
Welcome back to Mission Nonprofit. If you're just joining us, this month's guest is the Olympia Film Society, and they have a brilliant festival coming up this month, the 11th through the 20th. So I want you to go down to the Capitol Theater and watch some films. right, guys?
Right.
This is Joel Minking and J.R. Baker, and they are in charge of the festival this year, more or less. Yes, yeah.
For the most part. There are also, I mean, there's a legion of volunteers
The
who are
legions of, but
making
you're in
sure
charge of the legions of volunteers.
They may be in charge of us.
You guys are being in. Okay. We're getting silly. Let's talk about the history of the film festival. Do you guys know how long this has been going on, and what is the format?
This is actually the 28th annual film festival.
Oh, that's right, because it always starts off with the
Right.
the number. Right.
The Olympia Film Society has just celebrated its 30th year last month, and a couple years after they got started, they started up a film festival, and by the early 90s, it was running for 10 days. And there were nearly 50 events at that point, and we've got nearly 50 today as well. One of the wonderful things about it is that it's very different every year because of, we're not always going to be here. We're here this year, we might be here next year, but then there'll be somebody else. So every year it's a little bit different.
Always changing.
Always changing, which is delightful.
Yeah. Last year they had kind of genres for the different days. Am I right? Didn't they have? Do you guys remember what they did?
Informally, I'm not totally sure, but yeah, I feel like they did kind of group them together a lot more than we are doing.
What about this year? No, you're not doing that at all. We just kind of
we have
splattering of films.
Yeah, we've got a large range, and they're spread out over 10 days. Like, for example, there's the Passport series, which is 5 different films from 5 different countries, and that's going to be at 5:30 Sunday through Thursday every day. So we kind of spread everything out this time.
So that starts at every day at 5:30. You'll get to see an international film from, and you call them the Passport.
The Passport series, which you can
Passport
actually
series.
buy a series pass just for that.
Oh, and then you've got series passes. We haven't talked about this. We haven't talked about the cost for seeing these films.
Sure, you can buy single tickets or you can buy a full pass for the entire thing. If you have to be a member to get a full pass, but memberships are fairly inexpensive. They're only $28, and that allows you membership throughout the year. The full passes are then $75 and allows you into just about every film during the festival. So 50 events for $75 doesn't sound too bad. Members can also get partial passes or the Passport passes. If you're not a member and don't want to become a member this year, you can get non-member tickets, individual tickets for each of the events. Non-members pay $10, members pay $7 per event.
So it's like $10 to see a show?
It's $10 to see a show, unless we have a couple of special, the opening night gala and All Freakin' Night are $15 for non-members and $10 for members.
Okay.
So.
And what is this All Freakin' Night? It's got a funny name.
It does. It's it's an all-night horror film marathon. This is going to be the
all night
19th year
long.
of doing that, actually. Yeah, running from midnight to about 10:30 the next morning on the final Saturday of the festival, the 19th. And yeah, this year we've got a really, really entertaining lineup for that, as well as actually our first guest director at All Freakin' Night in years. A fellow by the name of Brian Yuzna, who directed an amazing movie called Society from 1989. Although if there are any genre movie fans watching, he's probably best known as the producer of Reanimator, which is a genre classic. So yeah, we've got Society, Squirm, a movie about killer worms. We've got Monster Squad, The Mafu Cage, which is an incredibly rare movie. So yeah, quite the lineup for All Freakin' Night. As well as anybody who makes it all the way through gets to come to a pancake and bacon and Bloody Mary breakfast. So.
And there always are a few people that make it, 20 or 30 people. But people do bring their pillows and bring some
Take
blankets
naps,
and take naps throughout
Don't bring
the
the
night.
kids.
I know some people that have stayed awake throughout for going on 13, 14 years now. So, yeah, it's a challenge.
Those are probably all rated R
They are
films.
Yeah, that's definitely not family friendly.
No, it's not a family-friendly
something
night.
at
I wouldn't
midnight.
imagine it would
Yeah.
be. Bloody Marys. That's funny. That's very appropriate for the horror films and
Yeah.
stuff in the next morning. Excellent. So, what other guests do you have lined up? Do you have other guests?
We do. We have a really incredible, fairly legendary filmmaker by the name of Les Blank. coming. He's a documentary filmmaker. He's been making movies since the 60s. He's best known for a movie called Burden of Dreams about the director Werner Herzog. But we have some really incredible music documentaries that he's made, 4 of them about the blues musician Lightning Hopkins. There's one called Always for Pleasure that's about Mardi Gras in the 70s, just like throws you right into the 1970s Mardi Gras experience. We've got Cajun music. So yeah, that'll be really spectacular. He'll come and talk a little bit about making his way into these cultures sort of unobtrusively so he can just document what's going on.
And one of the nice things is we have a couple of different screenings, but you get to see 3 of his films at one of the screenings. And he'll be there to talk about each one of them. And that's an extra little treat.
And then we also have Kevin Nolting, who is the lead editor at Pixar, is going to come and present Up, which he edited, and talk a little bit about the process behind that. Then also teach a master class in editing for any local filmmakers that are interested.
Ooh, teaching a class. Yeah. Nice. Where does the class happen?
That'll be at the Mark.
Okay.
Yeah, and that film, Up and with Kevin Nolting, will be on the 13th.
Sunday the 13th.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's good to know.
And all of our animated features for kids are all on the weekends and in the morning, except for Peter Pan, which is not animated, but it's for kids as well at 4 in the afternoon.
We talked about kids' films. We talked about some documentaries. We've talked about some horror films. Talked about some international films. Are there any other film genres that we didn't mention that we want to point out?
There are some really spectacular American independent films that we're going to be showing. There's one called Without that actually has regional connections as well. The director now lives in New York, but at the time of making the film, he was a Seattle filmmaker by the name of Mark Jackson. The film was shot on Whidbey Island, just right outside of Seattle, and it's a just really enormously captivating psychological thriller about a young woman who accepts a job as a caretaker for a catatonic old man and starts to wonder if he actually is catatonic or not, or if he's just maybe faking.
Quite the suspense.
Yeah.
Oh, tell them about Carp.
Oh yeah. Then there's a band called Carp, a legendary band among anybody interested in the punk rock scene in Olympia in the 90s. Yeah, we have a long-awaited documentary about Carp. It's been about 10 years in the making, actually, and has been gathering buzz in the Olympia punk rock community for years and years. We're finally showing it. It'll be the North American premiere. It's just incredible, legendary, and also, unfortunately, doomed punk rock band from Tumwater. So that's got Calvin Johnson participates in it, Kathleen Hanna from Bikini Kill, lots of local luminaries.
When does that come on?
That'll be Wednesday the 16th.
You know all of these things.
At 10:45 p.m.
10:45 p.m. That's pretty amazing. All right, so next year when they do the film festival, it might not be you guys. It'd be different
may or
people.
may not. It's early to tell at this point. But.
Any words of wisdom for them, whoever it is? Or anything you like to see next year you think it'd be neat that you didn't maybe get to do this year, and you think, man, they should try to do that next year.
What do you think, JR?
Well, all I have to say is they should start early and
I'm
know
with
when
you on that.
and know when they start that the whole community is behind them.
Excellent. And they should definitely come on Mission Nonprofit.
They should definitely come on Mission Nonprofit.
Very important.
Well, that's a good note to close on. So, hope everybody will go out there and watch some films November 11th through the 20th at the Capitol Theater. I'm Robert Camp for Mission Nonprofit. See you next time. If you know of a local nonprofit that's making a difference in our area, give us a call at 956-3100 extension 103 or email rkam@tctv.net.